Hey, this is DIY Coach Al at Lawn Care and Home Repair. Wife's getting a little tired of me washing my paintbrushes out in the kitchen sink. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and build me a utility sink right there. I'm going to take y'all along for the journey. Be right back. Alrighty, so I'm getting ready to start the project of putting my utility sink over here. I went ahead and cleared this space out, and there was a lot of stuff over here. I had to cut this rack back a little bit. Wish I could have put that on camera where I use some of my tools to actually cut these racks. It was kind of cool. But this right here, this plug is for my sump pump, and this wall that you see right here, none of this was here. This basement was totally open. I could literally just come down the steps and you would be right here in the utility section of the basement. And when we framed out the basement, this wall went here. But for whatever reason, when they built the house, they put the socket or the outlet for the sump pump right there. So what I'm going to have to do now, before I put the utility sink here, I'm just going to move this back here against the wall. And the first thing I'm going to do is take this off. The wire is too short to actually run it down, so I'm going to use this as a junction box and put another plug right there. Okay, so I went ahead and measured where I want to put my sink. I'm actually going to put it right here by this drain. I'm the only one who comes down here, and I'm actually only going to be maybe bolting this to the floor. If I do that, I may show you how to use a hammer drill. But what I'm going to do now is to run my 1.5-inch drain pipe over here, and I'm going to bring it over here to where the utility sink is. And then this is my hot water and my cold water 1/2-inch PVC, CPVC. And I'm not sure if you know, but in your sinks, your hot water is universally on your left side, and your cold water is on your right side. So I'm going to actually use my hole saw. I'm going to connect a piece of CPVC to both of those, and I'm going to run them down, and then I'm going to run them over to where the utility sink is. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to show all of that. What I'm getting ready to do now is to connect this 45-degree angle piece of CPVC so that I can actually bring it over there and through those studs to get over here. For this, I'm going to be using a primer and a glue specifically to do things like this. I'll just come back and show you a demonstration of it. Right, so I'm going to show how we connect this PVC, CPVC to the drain pipe down there. So what we want to do, whenever you're connecting CPVC, PVC, you want to make sure you are priming the inside of my 45-degree pipe right there, and then I'm going to actually prime the outside of it. And this actually dries very quickly. I'll put my gloves on because this can actually be a little messy. So I prime both of them, and it's not going to take but a second or two to dry. It's actually dry already. So we have both dry. Now what we want to do is take our glue, and I'm sorry, I left my microphone upstairs. Now what we want to do is take our glue and go around the inside a few times, and we're going to go around the outside. This is, I say glue, this is actually a cement. And what we want to do is push it in and make sure we push it all the way in. Then you want to hold it for just about 30-40 seconds. This stuff dries very quickly, very quickly. Be right back. Okay, now I'm getting ready to drill my second hole here. Just wanted to show you this part of the project. I'm using a 2.5-inch hole saw for my 1.5-inch pipe. Want to give it a little bit of clearance. Already drilled the hole on this side. Just wanted to come back and show you what it looks like. And the saw, this is actually called a hammer drill. It has a hammer function on it. but I'm just going to be using it on this highest clutch setting, the drill setting, so that we can go straight through this wood. And place, and here we go. All right, there we go. And it's important to remember whenever you're using a drill, you always want to have eye protection. You never want to have a piece of the drill, something that you're drilling through, bounce off and get you. So we got our holes drilled in order for us to run our 1.5-inch pipe through right there. And this hole right here had to actually move this outlet. I'm going to be moving it up because it was exactly in the right spot where I'm going to be putting this utility sink and putting the pipes. So we had to go ahead and move that. Okay, I'm going to be right back and show you how we're running those pipes, including one of the most important parts, the backflow preventer. Hey, so I just wanted to come back and show you this is one of the most important pieces. In fact, if not the most important piece of this project. This is what's called a backflow preventer. You see an arrow on here that's telling you the direction that this backflow preventer is supposed to be pointing towards the sewage pipe. This big pipe right here, this is our sewage pipe. All the mess from the kitchen sinks, the bathrooms, they all go through here. The reason you have this is because you want your water to go one way. You hear that flap? This will allow the water to go when it drains from the utility sink. It's going to go under through the P-trap, come through here, and it's going to go to the pipe that leads to that sewage pipe over there. The last thing you want to have is all the mess from your toilets and everything that's going through this drain to back up and come through up to your sink. Don't know if you've ever had a time where you can smell actually what smells like sewer water, what smells like toilet water in your sink or in your kitchen. If you don't have a backflow preventer, you also have one of these on your outside bibs. I installed one over here also. But this is very important so that your sewer water is not backing up and coming into your sink. So we're going to actually put this right down here. As I said, some of this is going to be done off camera. What I'm getting ready to do now is measure out my pipe that's going to go in between these studs, and I'm going to come back and show you the tool that we use to cut the CPVC pipe. Okay, so I measured out the pipe that I need, cutting it out in segments because I have to get it in between that. Sorry, because I'm trying to show you this and also cut. I need 15 inches at this point. It's my last piece, and this is what's called a CPVC cutter. This will cut up to a 2.5-inch pipe. The one that I have here is 15 inches, so I'm just going to, I don't need to mark it because I'm just going to put the tool right on the place where I need it. And all you do is just squeeze, and I'm going to double check to make sure, yep, right at 15 inches. And we're going to just squeeze, and it will actually cut right through this. And we have the final cut that we're going to need. We're going to go in and measure everything up and then glue it together. Hey, so I have my pipe exactly, my CPVC exactly, the length, everything is cut, and this is where the mud sink is going to go. So now that I have everything cut, I have everything measured, I know where everything is going to go. Now the next thing is to just disassemble the pipe there and then do my priming, as I said before, my OD primer and my cement. So I'm going to actually just take all this apart and then get everything cemented in. And then I'm going to actually be repeating the exact same thing with the hot and cold water pipes. So I'm not going to show that because it's really the exact same thing. Okay, so I'm absolutely positively finished with running all my pipe from over there. Like I said, I didn't want to bore you with replicating what I already showed in one section of the video. And we are now here. We have our backflow preventer. Everything is good right here. Now the last thing I'm going to do is put my shutoff valves on my pipes. Now this is something that you want to always make sure you're doing. I wanted to make sure I did just a little piece on this. Always, 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 whenever you're connecting PVC, CPVC pipe, you always want to make sure you prime it. Priming actually gets the surface of the CPVC, the PVC, it gets the surface ready to bond. What happens is when you're connecting your pipes, whether it's through a coupling where you're repairing a pipe or something like that, that primer actually gets your material ready to bond with the glue and to bond with that other piece of CPVC. It cements it together, but it actually fuses them together. So you always want to make sure that before you put your glue on, that you put your primer on. I've seen primer in different colors more often than not. I see it in purple. Odie is the one who makes, I want to say, most of the primers and glues that I see in the big box stores. So what we're going to do now is just put our connectors on, and we're going to push them in to make sure that that glue is sticking. Usually have my gloves on right here, but I just want to show you this last part of it. We are putting our primer and we are putting our glue on, and with this we are now done with this part of the project. Actually, all that's left to do now is to just put the utility sink right here and connect the hoses. So I'm just going to hold this for about 30 seconds or so, make sure that it is given time to bond. And when I say this stuff, it works really, 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 really quickly. It really, really, really does. You don't have a lot of time. So you want to make sure that you have measured so that you know your pipe is flush to where you want it to be, is sitting the way that you want it to sit. So we are actually good here. The last thing now, as I said, is to actually put the utility sink up. I'm going to actually put another piece of 2x4 right here, and I'm going to strap this down just to keep her from just kind of hanging out there. I'm going to put a piece of 2x4 here, and then later on I'm going to repair that patch over there and move that electrical piece. So I'm going to give this some time to set up. I'm not going to use this. It doesn't take time to bond, but I'm not going to actually do anything in terms of turning that water back on for probably maybe a couple hours. I don't need to be back down here for anything, so it doesn't take that long for it to bond. I just want to give it that extra time. So the last part of this is going to be actually just connecting the pipes. That takes just a couple minutes, or the flex pipes for the hot and cold water. Remember, your hot water is on your left and your cold water is on your right. Okay, be right back. Hey, so I have finally finished this project of putting this utility sink in. I use this, it's called Utilitub, the sink. I think I'm going to reserve judgment on it. I didn't have the best experience with the quality of the sink. It's a utility sink, so maybe it's just not designed to do a whole lot more than what it did. But what I thought was going to be about maybe a 2-hour project actually took me a couple days to finish it. Not because it was just so much work to do, but because I had to get out and do some other things, and I just didn't have the time to devote to doing it the way I wanted to all at once. But it's done now, and I'm going to show it to you. It's just a utility sink, and considering all the projects that I do, all the painting, all the repair and things like that, you would have thought that I had a utility sink a while ago, but I just didn't. So I could tell that my wife was really kind of getting tired of me seeing my paintbrushes and things like that, my rollers, after I've done a job somewhere or done something in the house. I know she's got tired of it. So anyway, I'm just going to turn this around. Well, I'm not going to turn around. I'm just going to swing around here and show you. I'll pan out a little bit so that you can see it's about, what is this, 18 inches wide by 24 inches, 18 by 23 and a half. It looks to be about maybe 18 inches deep. A utility sink is just designed to do the basics. It's not designed to be like a vanity in the bathroom, anything like that. It's working well. I don't have any problems with it. And I'm not sure if you can see, because I'm just kind of panning this camera around. Don't have any leaks. There was some water when I cut the pipes because they were capped in here. So when I cut the pipe, the little bit of water that drained out, that's where that's coming from. But not sure, once again, if you can see, but there is no leakage or anything like that. What is kind of funny, though, is I talked about how you make sure your hot water is left and your cold water is right. The pipes that lead to this, I had it in reverse because it is hot on the left on that side, but because I'm working from this side, I actually put it in reverse. Now, I'm not going to cut this out and disconnect or reconnect these pipes. This kind of stuff is actually fun, but no need to. It's just my utility sink. So in this case, my hot is actually marked hot, but this is actually my cold water over here on the left. So I will let my wife know that it's actually in reverse. And it does have a hot and cold HSC on it to let you know that it's hot and cold. But in any case, this finishes this project right here. The other project that I was working on was moving tapping off of one light switch and putting something somewhere else. One of the reasons why I do this, I don't get a chance to promote my home care, lawn repair and home repair, lawn care and home repair as much as I'd like to, because this is not what I do full time. I've been doing this work for the better part of maybe 40 years. I'm 58 years old now. I just enjoy it. And I have friends who come over and say, Alfonso, do you really need that many tools? They really have no idea that that I enjoy doing things like this. I try to get out and help my community and do things too. But when we moved in here, this was just all open space. So when we finished the basement off over there, gave me an opportunity to actually have a place to be able to put all my things. And I didn't realize I had as many tools as I have, but having the right tools to get a job like this done makes it much easier. What I didn't realize was that I was going to need as much 1/2 inch CPVC pipe as I did need. So I had to make, today I made 4 runs to Home Depot. Yesterday, maybe 3 runs. This tool that I had didn't work on that. The pipe cutter that I had wouldn't cut the 1/2 inch pipe. It only went up to 1 1/4 inch pipe. So having to go back and forth. Hey, this kind of stuff can be fun. And the reason that I like to show you this is because I don't do this for a living. This is not a difficult job. I give you my word. You can do something like this. It may seem really hard for some people. Other people who do this for a living may say, hey, Alfonso, all you did was put a utility sink in. That's not a big deal. Yeah, but it is a big deal for me. I actually enjoy it. So I'm done with this. There's nothing else I'm going to do in this room. I did put up the ceiling lights and things like that. Didn't enclose anything because it's just my HVAC room that I was able to convert to doing some other things in here. I was using it as an exercise room, but just didn't suit that for me. So in any case, this project is done. I'm going to ask again if you would do your friendly neighborhood therapist on my other channel. I keep saying that when I'm doing my lawn care and home repair. Do me a big favor and hit that like button and subscribe. I really would appreciate that. Trying to grow my channel. As I said, I'm 58 years old. I don't see an end to this. I enjoy doing this. I get out. I try to help my community. I try to help other people who need help. But I like to also make content so other people can look at it and understand that you don't have to be a professional at this. You can actually do it right where you are. I don't think you're going to have this many tools as I have, but I get these all at one time. Everything just kind of built up over time. And I needed them in order to finish my basement out there. You all have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, whatever the situation is. Make sure you take care of yourself. And hey, is it okay for me to ask you to reach down and help pick somebody else up? I guarantee you'll feel better about yourself. God bless you.